Hey guys, welcome back to my bullet journal with me. I hope you're having a wonderful September so far, and I'm going to show you how I did my September spread this month. So this month was 70s themed, so I tried my best to do a 70s font, but it didn't work out too well, as you can see by my sketches. But I'm just going to be using a regular wooden pencil, a vinyl eraser, and a micron pen. So I'm going to start off by erasing all of my sketches and try to make them as light as possible so I know where to draw over with my micron. I do like to do my sketches off camera because I change things so much, and it would just be so much footage for just a short clip of me doing a sketch, if that makes sense. Also, let me know if y'all are liking the voiceovers. I personally like watching voiceovers better than I do other videos, so I think this is pretty much like styled towards what I like to watch, but I am using a new microphone, so also let me know if you like the quality of that too. So you can see here I'm still using my micron pen. I believe it's the .45. I think that's the only size they make, but I'm not 100% sure. But these are like my go-to for any type of drawing or doodles or anything that I like to do like that in not only my bullet journal but also my planner. So now that I finished the word September, I'm just going to do this really funky looking outline over the word September twice, and then I'm going to do these waves in the background, and this is going to be like where my colors go. So here you can see I use something to make a little circle. I saw a picture of this one girl's bullet journal where she did an April spread that was 70s theme, and she had 3 colors in the background and then a circle with like a yellow in it. So that's kind of like what I'm trying to envision with the Welcome to September page. So here you can see me testing out my different mild liners and tombos to see what color pattern I really like and which colors go the best together. This is my first time using both mild liners and tombos, so just keep that in mind later when you see how it turns out. But I really do enjoy the mild liner brush tips and the tombos. There's something about a good brush tip that just like makes me so happy. Also, so sorry for the lighting change, not really sure what happened there. So here you can see me using my Tombow marker to fill in this kind of like a dark yellowy orange color. And then I'm going to go in with a Crayola Super Tip to do kind of like a muted reddish orange. So I really like how the Crayola Super Tips feel when I'm coloring with them, and I also use these a lot for hand lettering if I'm doing any kind of colored hand lettering. But now you can see that I just did the circle with a yellow tombow, and now I'm going to the last color with a brown tombow. I believe the yellow is from the Galaxy pack, and the dark orange-ish yellow and the brown are both singles that I bought. And now I'm just taking these same colors and filling in the outline here around September. And we're going to try to make sure that it kind of flows all together. Now I'm going to do the brown around the letter September. So there was a quick camera and lighting change, but now I'm going to take the red Crayola Super Tip and fill in the letters of September. So all in all, I really like how this turned out. The only thing that I wish I did differently was I wish I took the blender that came with the tombos and blended out the streak marks. That is one thing that kind of irritates me a lot. But like I said earlier, this is my first time using the Tombow brush tip markers or Tombow markers in general, so I guess that's something that'll just come with time and usage. So now I'm going to start working on my planner version, I guess you could say. So it's going to be like where I write in what I'm doing each day and where I have the calendar and kind of like all my reminders and everything like that. So this month I'm going to try something I've never done before, and I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm going to do something called Dutch doors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out parts of my pages at the top, and hopefully it turns out really good. Let's watch and see. So I've already sketched out all the space I need for each day, and my Saturday and Sundays are a little bit smaller than the rest of the week because I don't really do much on those days. I like to rest and relax. But here you can see the stencils that I'm trying to debate between. I end up doing these little triangle things to separate each day, and I'm going to be using my Micron PN again to fill this in. And also, I'm sorry if the volume is changing right now. I took a break for a minute to eat some ramen, and now I'm coming back to do my voiceover, and I feel like I messed with the volume or something. I don't really know. So here I'm just using my Micron PN pen and my stencil to create a line of triangles, and I do eventually go back and fill them in because I didn't entirely like the look of them. Plus some of them kind of got a little messed up when I didn't do the stencil the right way. In here you can see I'm using a stencil to add a little design on the corner of this page. I'm not going to do the next page because that is one of the pages that is getting cut out. But now I'm just marking off how much space I'm going to need for my monthly overview, and spoiler alert, I kind of messed up on it. I didn't mark out the letters in the right spaces, so Monday's going to look a little janked up, so just ignore that. But now I'm just adding, make this a September to remember. It was a cute quote I saw on Instagram somewhere, so I'm just going to add that to fill up some space and start on the left half of the calendar. And you can see where Monday is so far away from Tuesday and Thursday. So now is for the fun and kind of scary part. I'm going to get out my scissors and cut pages out of my bullet journal. So now I'm going to start cutting with one page at a time along the line that I drew earlier. And you can see I didn't finish doing the triangles on the rest of the pages. And then I'm just going to cut along the seam, and I'm going to try to get as far away from the seam as I can, and then go back in after I get the main part of the page out and try to clean it up. So now I'm finishing up the second half of my calendar, and I'm trying to make it as even as I possibly can. I think that since I had 4 days on this page and 3 on the left page, that it kind of evens out where I messed out on Monday, but it still looks kind of jacked up to me. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. So now I'm just filling in the days, and I'm trying to write them as neat as possible, but I didn't really give myself much room, so they look a little messy, I guess you could say. So now I'm going to erase my border that I drew and try to clean it up just a little bit, and I'm erasing the line that I drew on all of my triangles just to kind of see where I'm at and see what else needs to be done. So now I'm going to take my Micron PN and go in and start filling in the actual days and dates on the little spaces I left for me to write things like my to-do list and things I have going on. So I'm going to try to keep it as neat as possible, but I'm going for an all caps look as far as font goes, and then just writing the actual date of the day under the day, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to start working on the birthdays of this month, and I'm going to dedicate this whole area. I'm not really sure how many birthdays I have coming up this month for friends and family, but I want to dedicate the rest of this page to it. In worst case, if I don't have enough to fill up the whole thing, I can always just doodle or do a cute cupcake or something just to fill the space. And on this page, I'm going to go over the lines I sketched out for keeping my 70s theme. And I'm using my Micron PN again. I'm doing my same 3 lines. And I am using this little scrap piece of paper to keep the ink from my hand from transferring onto the pages. And now I'm just making a little reminder spot underneath my lines. And now I'm going to take the same Micron P and go in the bottom right corner and start doing this little quote I found on Pinterest. And I'm just going to outline the sketch I made. I'm really feeling this font that I've been doing with how I wrote sweet with the capital letters that are like tall and skinny, and I don't know, I just really like how it looks. So the little quote was Sweet September, and I just wanted to keep it kind of September themed, and then I added 3 more lines for my 70s theme, and I promise you it's gonna look a lot better when I color it in. Right now it just looks kind of funny and messed up. And here you can see me messing up by writing birthdays under reminders instead of under birthdays. And I kind of realized, but didn't really have a way to fix it, so we're just gonna go with it and try to make something good out of this. And I didn't have that many birthdays this month, so I did decide to draw a little cupcake underneath, and this is all freehand, so I know it's really lopsided and not the best at all, but I thought it would be a cute little addition and something that can fill the space. So I did a basic little cupcake with some flat frosting and a candle, and again I'm using my Micron P for this. So here I decided to try and cover where I messed up and wrote birthdays this month on the left page. So I'm taking some liquid whiteout and trying to cover it over as smoothly as I can. And now I'm going to take a piece of the extra paper that I cut out from doing my Dutch doors and wrote reminders on it. And then just put some Elmer's sticky tape, I think is called, and taped it over it. Now I'm just cutting the edges. This is my first time using the Elmer's sticky tape, so it didn't really go that well, but I do like it better than doing like double-sided tape or Mod Podge. So now I'm going to flip through to the first page and get out my Tombows and a Crayola Super Tip and start coloring in the lines I drew. So again, I'm using the same Tombow marker that I used on my Welcome to September page, or my first September page as some people like to call it. And again, I'm doing my light kind of dark yellow Tombow and then a orangish red Crayola Super Tip in the middle. I do feel like since I've used the Tombow markers more that I am better at not having the brush lines, but I did take the light yellow Tombow and did some accents on the calendar at the top, and now I'm just filling in some more of the lines, trying to make them look a little neater because I did mess up a little bit when I was drawing those out. So now that all my lines are filled in, I'm going to start coloring in my cupcake. So for the cupcake liner, I am using a Tombow brush tip marker from the Galaxy pack. And then for the actual cake, I'm using a brown from the Mild Liners pack I got off Amazon. Those I really like, but I feel like they're a little too pastel for my taste. And then a lavender colored super tip for the icing and a teal super tip for the candle. Now I did try to go back over with some super not super tips, with some Tombos and a mild liner for sprinkles. But because I picked such a dark lavender, it didn't really work out that well, so just ignore those. And then I'm just going to touch up the lines on my other page too and try to make that look a little more full because I don't have that many reminders this month. So here is the final flip through with my Dutch doors and all. So I did add all the days and filled in all the triangles and colored in the last few pages, and that's all I got for you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe and go check out my Instagram while you're here. Bye, have a wonderful September.